Hello, everyone. It's Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're all doing well this Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you guys for joining me today. Please, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys, on this, as I said, Wednesday morning, of course. So let's get straight into it, guys. Manchester United and, have a few days left. We're going to wait longer than other teams to play. Of course, we're playing on Tuesday. So it's a little bit too long, isn't it? To be honest with you, because of the FA Cup, we play on Tuesday. We should have been playing on Saturday against Crystal Palace. Of course, Fulham had other ideas and we didn't get through against Fulham, unfortunately. We lost on penalties. Fulham will probably go and lose to Palace. That is how it works. At the end of the day, they put all the effort in against Man United. But, at the end of the day, we can't complain, can we? We didn't do the job ourselves, and we just had to look after ourselves, to be honest. So, look, we get a little bit of an extra rest. We got Nottingham Forest on the 1st of April Fool's Day. Hopefully it's not any fools for Man United, and hopefully Man United do win the game. It's going to be a tough game, that one. Really is. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. We will be building up to that game, of course, coming up on Tuesday. But you know what? It is great to have good real football back again. Of course, it has been international week all week. It is incredibly boring international week, of course. England winning 2 games out of 2. Under Thomas Tuchel, the new England manager, the German England manager, of course, and he done okay. It was relatively boring, but you know what? It is what it is. And to be honest with you, you can't complain with that. You can only win what's in front of you at the end of the day. What should I say? Now, let's get right into the news, guys. Please don't forget to smash a like, as I said. Please don't forget to do that. If you guys could do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to go start with a player that I've been speaking about quite often on this show. It's a player that started off at Real Madrid. He was a player at Real Madrid Castilla as well. Real Madrid youth team. His name is Nico Paz. Now, Nico Paz didn't quite make it at Real Madrid. So he went to Como for a little fee, which was about 6 million euros, going up to 10. Now, since he's been at Como, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's managed to get a cap for Argentina. And, Como have been brilliant. Of course, Como have owned by Fabregas, Cesc Fabregas. We all remember Cesc Fabregas from Arsenal. But Nico Paz is someone that has captured the interest of Manchester United, given his performances for Como. Now, we all knew that Nico Paz is a good player. Wouldn't play for Argentina otherwise. But we all knew that because he played for Real Madrid and he was raised in the Real Madrid Castilla Youth Academy, of course. So that is something that, is interesting to Manchester United. The downside is there is always a downside. He is 35 million euros. That being with Man United, he will go up to 45 million. Now, this isn't as easy as people think because Real Madrid has slapped a release clause on his head in regards to a sell-on clause if Como were to sell Nico Paz. So basically, Real Madrid would get a percentage of the Nico Paz fee if Real Madrid end up selling Nico Paz. So that would mean that Como would most likely want more than the 35 million euro asking price. So it could go up to 50 and Real Madrid would get a percentage of that. Real Madrid do have first option. They've got a buyback clause. So at the end of the day, they could come in and they get first option for Nico Paz. So it's imperative that Man United do act quickly in regards to these players because, Real Madrid are clever. Look, they know that these players are good players. They know that Nico Paz had a lot of talent. And since he's been at the Como, you know what? He's gone onto his own. He's absolutely been phenomenal. So what I would say is that, Real Madrid do things properly. They inserted a release clause. They've inserted a buyback clause, should I say, on his name. And so if Man United do sign him, a percentage of that money goes to Real Madrid, of course, guys. So that is quite interesting. Bigger Almat, what's going on, my friend? Have you heard about Abou Baoudi, a 70-year-old French wonder kid? Apparently, he's a great midfield talent. Yes, I have heard of him. Baoudi, I spoke about him a couple of 3 weeks ago around that match. Almat, nothing gets past me, Almat. Of course, I do. So I'm talking about Nico Paz today, and Nico Paz is, of course, someone to look out for. Already an Argentinian international playing in Serie A with Como is not easy either. It's not easy either. And I wouldn't mind. He is attacking midfielder, by the way, 20 years old, attacking midfielder. He can play central midfield and centre forward as well. That is obviously more strings to his bow, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's more strings to his bow. But you know what? To be honest with you, I feel that €35 million will go up to about 45, 50 with the Man United tax. And also given the Real Madrid buyback clause, you know what I mean, and percentage of the transfer fee, it's going to be a little bit difficult to do this deal, of course, guys. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. That is not all, of course, guys, but definitely one to look out for. Nico Paz of Como, of course, owned by Cesc Fabregas Como, of course, guys. So interesting transfer developments going on there, and interesting to see what happens with Nico Paz in the summer, given how well he's done at Como, you know, and it's not easy to do well at Club Cup Como. In regards to Almak Bayoldi, I spoke about him. Yeah, I spoke about him a long time ago, for goodness me. Sanjay, big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Of course. Really good to see you. Now, let's get into another player, of course, and a player that a lot of you have not heard of, but he is a player that is up and coming that Man United are scouting at the moment. And I want you to remember this player. His name is Loran. His full name isn't Loran. His full name is definitely not Loran fully. It is Loran Lucas Pereira de Souza. Loran Lucas Pereira de Souza is an attacking midfielder, right winger and left winger. He is, of course, only a 18-year-old, and he currently plays for Flamengo. Now, you know what? It's a name relatively unknown. He is an under-17 Brazilian international, also played under-16 Brazilian international. Loran, with two R's, by the way, is highly thought of at the moment in regards to his talent and his future development. He is only €12 million as well. He's relatively unknown at the moment. Rio de Janeiro born. Goodness me, you know what? When you think about up and coming players, and you look at up and coming players, 18 years old, you know, versatile, left wing, right wing, attacking midfield. You've got a player like this. 13 caps for Brazil under 17, 1 goal, €12 million, guys. So this is the type of player that Man United will be looking at, and currently Man United are scouting. Now, I don't want to get this news out there too much, because there will be other outlets out there that will pick up on it, and the noise become a little bit rife, you know, because the noise, you know, when we mention players like that Man United are after, other people hear about it. That means other clubs hear about it as well. And then other clubs will be like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? This player is really good, you know what I mean? Let's check him out. You know, but Loran is he's been scouted by Manchester United. Flamengo attacking midfielder, versatile, strong, tough, quick, skillful, and nick a goal as well. Really decent good player, of course, guys. But it's something to look at for. It is the type of player that Manchester United will be going for. As I said, over the number of shows that I've been doing, is that you know, Man United will be looking for the next big thing. We'll be looking for the next Mbappe, as Jim Ratcliffe did say, didn't he? They will be looking for that thing. We're not going to be going out and spending 60, 70 million on certain players. It's not going to happen. Man United are precisely looking for these type of players. €12 million, just like Dorgu, ended up being €25 million. We can get probably Loran for about €20 million. You know what I mean? So that will be a decent buy. Talent as well. Future talent as well. That is what we're looking at, of course, guys. Absolutely. Good morning, Jarvis. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Good to see you, of course. Do you have a name that's better than Angel Gomez as a midfield bench player to replace Ericsson? There's many players who are better than Angel Gomez. I've just mentioned one. Loran is much more highly sought after than Angel Gomez at the moment. There's a number of players better than Angel Gomez. Angel Gomez is extremely fragile for the Premier League, and you saw that for England when he played for England. It's extremely weak, you know. And whenever do you see now, like, guys, when have you seen on social media someone showing us a compilation of Angel Gomez goals and assists and things like that? No, he's a skillful player, and that's about it. And I just don't think that he will elevate Man United to the levels that he's worth 100 grand for a week, which is being touted as he wants. He wanted 100 grand from West Ham. You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I mean? And we're going to be signing up another player who could fail, you know, for 100 grand a week. You know, I know it's a free transfer. But I just don't think he's going to elevate Man United to the levels that we want to be elevated to. Shah. Good morning, Sal. Hope you're well. Off topic, what's your thoughts of Saeed content creator ratings? Shah, I spoke about this the other day. I have nothing to say about it. All I would say is that there are a number of content creators out there that are doing their thing, a number of content creators that are building communities. And that should be on that list. At the end of the day, I wouldn't trust someone, you know what I mean, who has agendas, you know, and who, you know what, look, you know, at the end of the day, right, people do these polls, right? The reason they do these polls and they do these little ratings and stuff like that is to cause anger and division and, you know what, controversy, because it gets clicks, it goes viral and stuff like that. That's why they want to do these things. This is why he's doing those content creating ratings and that. And there's a number of content creators out there that are really good that didn't mention, you know what I mean? He didn't mention. You know, he's just mentioning, obviously, look, like what that content creator list should be is that how many people were elevated by Mark Goldbridge? How many people got their numbers because of Mark Goldbridge? And many of them did. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. But I think I pay no mind to, you know what I mean? Maybe he should rate his weight rather than rating content creators, because at the end of the day, that is always good for is munch. But we'll go on from that, of course. Absolutely. Big up, Tybor. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see the legend, Tybor, back in the house. Absolutely. We need to improve the physicality of the team. Absolutely, cool start. Absolutely. And this is exactly what I'm saying. And this is a reason. Look, I'm not saying that it's exclusive to South America. But when you buy players from South America, generally they come from the street. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's a good thing, because I do believe that English football has lost its way. At the end of the day, in regards to being from the street, you know what I mean? That we've lost that street footballer, you know, which is taking a little bit of edge off players. So this is another reason why it's a good thing that Man United are looking in South America for the likes of obviously what I just said, Loran, players of that nature, Nico Paz, of course, but also plays for Como, of course, but he's from South America. So we got to pick up these kind of players and look for the next big thing. And, you know, physicality is very important in the Premier League. Gomez is a stick. He's brushed off the ball like that. And this is something we need to stay away from. You know what I mean? We need to get someone who's strong, who, you know, can take the game by the cojones and just go for it. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like Man United need to look at players with the character as well. Character is very important. Players that are winners. You know what I mean? Like, have that drive. They don't have to be proven winners, but you can tell from the personality that they are winners. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. I don't think Andrew Gomez is worth 100 grand a week, in my opinion. He's not worth nowhere near that, mate. He's worth 30, 40 grand a week. And it is quoted at West Ham that West Ham were offering Andrew Gomez away to the Premier League, and he wanted 100 grand a week. I mean, sorry, he's not that player. Guys, how many assists and how many goals has he had this season? Look, I would urge you to check it out. You know what I mean? What we need to understand is that he's not pulling up any stops in France. And, you know, what's he going to do for Man United that is going to absolutely change things? Absolutely. Jealousy is real, Sal. That's what hurts Said. Let me tell you a little story, Kenny, right? In regards to people like Said and people like that. They're very jealous people. They are very bitter people. And their only intent, and I put them in the same bracket as rants and stuff like that, all these people. Their only intention is to divide. It's not to unite. They only want to divide. They only unite with their mates, right? And that's what they do. Right? Someone like Mark Goldbridge, you know, who I know, right, I've known for a long time. He gave them a platform to have the numbers that they're having, created a little bit of controversy when they left. So that obviously inadvertently gave them the numbers that they have. Fair play to them, nothing to do with me at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? But that is what happened. And now he's making rankings and leagues about who's the best content creator out there. You know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day, look, you know what? I think all of us as a community and all of us as football fans need to understand, like, we need to open a door for different content creators, because these content creators, look, you know what? Said, all these people, you know what? They've been there for a long time. They have no personality. You know what I mean? People think they're funny. They're not funny. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, you know, and they jump on them because the numbers and stuff like that. And all they're there to do is cause controversy and cause division and cause toxicity. That is all it is, right? Nothing. They don't have any ball knowledge. They don't. And I'll approve that, you know. And to be honest with you, and listen, guys, listen, I've had these guys on my channel. You know what I mean? I've had these guys on my channel, and you know what? It was like talking to a dum-dum at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in it at the end of the day. Absolutely, Kenny. Big up yourself. Gomez lightweight, in my opinion, definitely suits League One or Serie A. Even Serie A is a little bit tough for him. He is a lightweight, of course. We need a talent, but you have to do the personality check, which we've not done for 12 years. It's something I've been talking about a lot, Shah. Sarge, you copy what I say, bruv. You copying what I say every single show. Yeah, I've been talking about that in regards to Alex Ferguson. I lived it, of course, in the 90s and stuff like that with Alex Ferguson, what he did with players before he would sign players. He'll get to know their personality and stuff like that before signing them on a football level. He'll get to know their their family, whether they're married, what they eat, what their hobbies are and stuff like that. He used to get to know the person, because it is the person you're signing as well. This is what we seem to forget, and we lost our way a little bit in regards to this. It is the person that you sign, not just the footballer. It's the and I think that Man United need to do this more, And I think that's what they're. I hope that is what they're doing at the moment. Jarvis, so would you sign a Morten Højlund if the opportunity came up, or are the other midfielders in the same category you prefer? I'd still disappointed we never signed Sander Berg. Sander Berg was one, wasn't it, at the end of the day, from Burnley, wasn't it? And a lot of people were jumping on Sander Berg, laughing at that transfer, wasn't it? And sometimes you get a player, right, just because it's not glamorous, it's not glamorous. So people jump on that player and say, "Oh, I don't want Sander Berg. He's, he's." Basically, I don't like him. He plays for Burnley, for goodness sake. And you know what? At the end of the day, you never know how he's gonna become. You never know what kind of player. I like Sander Berg. I like Højlund, who of course is Sporting Lisbon player. Look, we need a player like that, no doubt, Jarvis. Like, we need a player like that. We need a player that is, gonna put his foot in, gonna fight, and these are fighters you're talking about, I do think we need players like that. I like the Scandinavian defensive player. I was raised on, obviously, Henning Berg and Ronny Johnson and, players of that ilk, of course. So I like these type of players. And I think Man United have a rich history in these type of players. And I wouldn't mind one of these players coming to Man United at the end of the day. Sander Berg, the problem that we're having is that a lot of these players will be overpriced. Sander Berg might be overpriced because he plays in England. Højlund, of course, Sporting Lisbon, and they're not going to sell this player if they're going to sell. They've already sold a few players, haven't they? They're absolutely dismantling their side, isn't it? They've absolutely taken their side apart. Do you know what I mean? Really, really much. But I like these players, and I think Man United need to look at these players as well. It's not all about the glamorous signing, the Edisons and stuff like that people are talking about. Of course, you can find bargains and you can find good players out there that are going to do a job for you, of course. You've never disagreed with me, Shah, ever. Big up, respect, Shah. Big up, my friend. I'm not a fan of Mark and the 2S, but let people like content. They like to make whatever content they want. I'm not a fan of Mark and the 2S, but let people like the content they like and make whatever content they want. I would say, yeah, but when you're bringing other names into it, that becomes a little bit difficult, isn't it, at the end of the day? At the end of the day, I don't think these people are good for Manchester United. I don't, at the end of the day. When people are mentioning other people's names, mine as well, by the way, I really don't think it is worth them making these little polls and stuff like that. Let them do the content they want. All right, let you get £300 like Saeed and have a heart attack by 30 years old. Should we do that as well? Might as well. We're living in a society that, anything goes. Do you know what I mean? Anything goes. You know what I mean? Let's just do it. Let's just do that weak generation thing, shall we? At the end of the day, this is Stretford Post. This is not none of them channels. This is a different channel. We speak as it is. We don't care. You know what I mean? I come from a place where I don't really need to care about what they think, and I don't really need to care about what they think of me. But they like to mention me, so that is absolutely fine. At the end of the day, they've mentioned me, and then that is the way it is at the end of the day. Isn't Højlund primarily defensive? Yes. Don't we need a box-to-box midfielder like Edison over a defensive midfielder? I want to say that he's not a box-to-box. Højlund does play box-to-box. He's defensively very good as well. I do think that Almac, you make a good point, but I think that Man United are a little bit of Bagel FC at the end of the day. They're a little bit Bagel FC. If you ask me about Man United right now, they're a little bit empty in that midfield, and they do need a defensive head in there who can track around and run around, in my opinion. Absolutely, guys. Basically. Big up. I've not watched enough of Sander Berg. Is he any good? Championship, Shah. That's the thing. That's what I would say. I think he's a good player. But I just believe that Sanderberg, you know what I mean, is a good player, but playing in the Championship. So it's a little bit difficult to really make an accurate judgment on it at the end of the day, if we're being honest, guys. It is really difficult to make an accurate judgment on the Sanderberg, to be honest. And I would say he's a good player. He's a risk. He would represent a risk. And he'll probably be more money than a player in South America or somewhere like that we could purchase, same talent, you know what I mean, in regards to that, you know, because there are players around the world that we can get for a fraction of the price, of course. Colts. I disagree with them telling people what to do with their content. I fully disagree with this. Thank you so much, Colts. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant like basically, you know, they were telling me like at the end of the day, the same thing. You know, at the end of the day, they were telling me the same thing. They mentioned me on social media, on Twitter, on things like that, and called me out and stuff. So I responded and I gave them, you know, I responded to it. And I've actually messaged Saeed and people like that, right, in the DMs on Twitter and said, if you've got a problem with me, then you come out and say it. Don't be a wimp. And then, no, bruv. No, bruv. No problem. Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day, that's what we're dealing with. And yeah, big up Colts, big respect. But you know what? That I don't like to really bring them into, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, I think Mark Goldbridge said it yesterday with Terry Flewers that basically, you know, these people are just there to cause division, and they're there to you know what? It's 2017-ish, isn't it? When the fan channels and that were fighting against each other. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to ignite something. They're trying to get a spark, you know what I mean, to spark off controversy. You know, all that out of chaos. That is what it is at the moment. That is what I'm trying to do. It's all that out of chaos, you know, because at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is create chaos, oh my God, he put him there. No one's going to agree, because at the end of the day, you can make a list up yourself, and it's all subjective at the end of the day. That is what it is. It's subjective opinions that, you know what, they put out there, that is the gospel, that is the truth. You know what, Said is not a very sharp cookie, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he can say what he wants at the end of the day. He can say what he wants. He can do what he wants. That's what he wants to do. That's fine. But don't mention other people's names. Don't try and create controversy of other people. And that's what I would say, you know, at the end of the day. So I respond to that. And you know what? There are many content creators out there, like Flying Pig, for example. You know what I mean? These type of people out there who've done content for a long time. Jarvis is a content creator. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that have done content and do content and have built up communities around, you know, big communities, really good communities as well. And I watch some of them, right? And to be honest with you, you know, when you're discounting people and you're like ignoring people, you know, and stuff like that, because you've been around 10 years, you know what I mean? That is what I don't like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, look, I come from a music industry. I come from 20 years in music, right? At the end of the day, I've been there, seen it, done it, won the t-shirt, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, so when I see these people, you know what, trying to gain clicks and likes from absolutely subjective opinions that create controversy, it is a little bit, you know, annoying. It's annoying. You know, it is annoying. And you know what, downplaying everyone else, everyone can F off. These are my favorite. You know what I mean? If you're going to do a list, right, get everyone involved. As Mark Goldbridge said, if you're going to do a list, get everyone involved. Don't just get one or two people involved with your mates, because, you know, you want to keep them sweet, rants and bants and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you want to keep them sweet when their knowledge about football is literally zero. You do know that, right? It's literally zero. Big up Colts, by the way. Much respect. I thought Edison could do both box to box and hold him. Yes, he can, mate. He can, Shah. The problem with Edison is that he's going to be a lot more money, Shah. That's the problem. And obviously, we know with Man United that we're penny pinching at the moment. We're not really in a position to be spending a lot of money, Shah. I like Edison. In my opinion, Edison, Shah. In my opinion, Shah, I think that Edison is a fantastic player. And I would love Edison at Manchester United. I really would at the end of the day. I would, but it depends what happens. Look, this is why I'm saying, you know, I'm really excited about this summer window. I'm really excited about, you know, what we're going to do in a good way and a bad way, because in a good way, they might want to go out there and prove a point. In a bad way, they might want to go out there and save money. And you know what? It's going to be interesting, isn't it, at the end of the day? Almac, instead of Sanderberg, how about signing a few of those AC Milan Wonder kids? I know, Almac, but Man United don't want to listen to me, Almac. Man United don't want to listen to me, mate. They don't want to listen to my scouting report, do they? At the end of the day, look, you know what? If they wake up to the idea of what's going on at the moment, I can give you A lot of players that from not just AC Milan, Juve, and players like that are incredibly good. But Matt, don't be surprised, mate. Don't be surprised if you hear these names in the future, right? And then just remember, Kamada, Liberali, Sia, Komoto, these players, right? Bakune. You're going to hear a lot about these players in the future, and then you're going to be like, didn't Sal mention that player? Didn't he mention that player? Did it? Wasn't it him who mentioned that player? Absolutely. And not only that, they got goalkeepers coming through the conveyor belt, Torreira as well. They got goalkeepers coming through the conveyor belt as well. Absolutely. Almac, both Hoyman and Sandberg are defensive midfielders and with creative and ball playing ability. They've got that presence and dictate. Absolutely, Jarvis. Spot on, my friend. Spot on. Absolutely. By the way, Sandberg has been one of the best DMs in the Premier League this season for Fulham. That's it. He came from Burnley. Totally right, Jarvis. Spot on. Yes, he plays for Fulham, and he has been brilliant. That is it. He signed from Burnley. Man United were going to sign Sandberg in the summer. Was it this summer that Man United were going to sign Sandberg? And then a lot of us were jumping on the Sandberg thing that, he plays for Burnley, blah, blah, blah. Was it that? And then he ended up signing for Fulham, wasn't it? There you go. You never know. Everything depends on the YouTuber himself. Negativity, stupidity is most common channel where the YouTuber himself is an idiot. Absolutely. This is why you have to have a great group here, Sal. A lot depends on you. It does, Tyborg. And you know what? Thank you so much, Tyborg. You're an absolute legend. And I would say that I believe that just because, those guys have been around a long, long time. I stopped doing content creation. I did stop doing content creation a long time ago because, you know what? It became a little bit toxic. It came a little bit, people look. I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an example right now, guys. And this is an exclusive for you guys, right? I had Said on this show, okay? I had Said on Stretford Post, right? As soon as I finished with Said, because my ball knowledge was better than Said's, and Said was a little bit jealous, he went around spreading rumors and stuff like that. This is way back in 2019, 20, around that time. So that's what happens in this industry. As you said, a lot depends on the person. But you know what? There's what they called crabs in a barrel syndrome. So basically stepping on each other to get to the top. But they don't realize when you get to the top on a barrel, you fall down at the end, isn't it? If you're a crab. And then you're going to see those same people coming down, don't you? And this is the problem with those people. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. They think they are what they are, the be-all, the end-all. I've seen people come and go. I've worked with legends in my life. Legends, guys, right? In my life, I've worked with legends. I can post legends all day that I've worked with. I've seen people come and go. And at the end of the day, if they carry on the way they're going, they're just going to go up to the top and fall down. In regards to Mark Goldbridge, no, he's not everyone's cup of tea. But at least he's trying his best to unite. At least he's trying his best to get people together, to work together, to tackle the mainstream, which is the problem. Now, I've not got a problem with the likes of United View and people like that. And I give them the best of luck. I've met Flex. I know a lot of the people now. I've met those people as well. I've had, obviously, Dev on this show as well. I've had a few of them on this show. But what I would say is that when you're being rewarded for content through, organizations that are run by the mainstream, that is what the problem is, because it seems like if you're closer to the mainstream, if you're more closer to the mainstream, you're more likely to be successful in the mainstream, of course, which is obvious. But what I would say is that you have to be mainstream to get to certain places. You have to have this dud opinion that non-controversial, same as the mainstream opinion. That, if you want to get somewhere, of course, guys. And I'm lucky to be in a position that I've had the likes of Ben Jacobs. I've had the likes of, obviously, James Robson. I've had, Jamie Jackson on this show, amongst footballers like Jason McAteer. I've had on the show, Tony Cotti. I've had on the show as well. I've had great people on the show. So I've gone my own direction with things. But I'm just saying that, the conflict of interest in the industry is a bit of a problem, in my opinion. Big up Tyborg. Courts. Atlanta have always ripped us off. Atalanta have definitely, Courts, they have ripped us off. Yeah. I think they rip a lot of people off. But at Atalanta, there is a number of players in their squad that are brilliant. And they know that as well. I think the player called De Kereres, he's good. I can't pronounce his name. Let me say it. Let me pronounce this properly, guys, because I'm not good at pronouncing names. But Atalanta squad. So Atalanta squad. So let me see. Let me pronounce it. Yeah, they got Adeloma Lookman, but the player I was talking about, let me see his name here. If it is here. Martin de Roon is good, by the way, of Atalanta. Let's not forget Martin de Roon. He's a good player as well. He's not even here anymore. He must have left. He must have left. Well, he's not here. Let me see. Venison, Martin de Roon, Bresciani, Zappa Costa used to play for Chelsea. De Roon. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll get back to that. Shah, Sal, for Man United head of scouting department, I hope one day, Shah, one day, you never know, it might happen. You never know in the blue moon. No Man United game until next Tuesday, 1st of April. Hopefully it's not April Fool's Day, Shah, because it is April Fool's Day, but hopefully it's not April Fool's Day for Man United because Man United playing against Nottingham Forest away from home, which is going to be a difficult game, of course. Very difficult game. We missed out on Sanderberg, £5 million. Yes, we did. But remember, Kenny, when we were after Sanderberg, everyone was bantering Man United. People were bantering Eric Ten Hag. Sanderberg, who's Sanderberg? Why are we going after Sanderberg? He plays for Burnley, you know, and we missed out on it, of course. Do you think Alice Noso watches your streams, Almac? Well, considering that every single time I mention a player, she mentions them a few weeks later, probably, Almac. I would say that. You know, at the end of the day, every time I start mentioning players, she mentions them as well. At the end of the day, a few weeks later, of course. And good luck to her, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think a lot of people do. I know a lot of people do. But you know what? At the end of the day, some people spy on me and stuff like that. Some people make catfish accounts of me of on here and stuff, which I had to block and stuff. Yeah, definitely. Syed is just a cosplay and a lost soul. He doesn't even have his own opinion. He doesn't, mate. He doesn't. He's an absolute. Look, I'm not going to get too harsh on him at the end of the day, but he's a kid in a 300-pound body. You know what I mean? A baby in a 300-pound body. That's what he is at the end of the day. And what I would say is that, you know, he doesn't have his own opinion. And if he knew about me, you know, he wouldn't open his mouth. You know what I mean? He would not open his mouth at all. You know, especially the people I've worked with, where I've been, who I've worked with, how I've worked with, my life in general. You know what I mean? Who I am as a person. You know, and he wouldn't be doing that. You know, and what I would say is that, you know, he just needs to cut down content because he hasn't got a great opinion on Man United. He doesn't know Man United historically. And this is what it's all about at the end of the day, guys. It is about Manchester United. You make a Manchester United content creation page. You should know about Manchester United. You should know about its history of Man United. None of them mentioned to Bobby Charlton when he died. None of them mentioned Dennis Law when he died. God rest their soul. None of them, right? Not your rants, not your sides. None of them mentioned them. So how can you even class them as Manchester United fans if they don't go out their way to mention these people? And that's what I would say. Now, I mean, I've invited these people hundreds of times to come and prove your worth. Prove your worth that you're a Man United fan. Show me, tell me that you're a Man United fan. Prove it. Come on there, school me. Do what, you know what I mean? To try your luck with me. But they won't do it, unfortunately. But you know what? As you said, Kenny, you're absolutely spot on. He doesn't. He follows his own friend's narrative, shall I say. So he'll follow the narrative of his circle, but he won't go beyond that circle or anything else. Like, at the end of the day, if I was given an opportunity, right, to elevate my channel, to elevate my platform, right, and get my platform to 1 million subscribers, let's say, even if I didn't like that person who elevated me, right, I would still have the utmost respect for that person for elevating me in the first place. I would be thankful. There's many people in the music industry I don't like. I've worked with some of them legends, right? But I'm thankful for the opportunities that they give. You know, at the end of the day, you can't like your boss. You don't always like your boss. That is what life is at the end of the day. You don't always like your manager. It's not supposed to be like that. That life doesn't work like that. But if someone gave you an opportunity to give you a platform, you should always be grateful for that opportunity. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, in Arabic, they say, alhamdulillah. You know what I mean? That's what they say. You be grateful for that opportunity. But they're not. They're not. They think they've done it all by themselves. At the end of the day, like, for example, Faz, before he went on the United stand, Faz had about 10 followers on Twitter. And that is the only reason why Said supported him, because he ended up having numbers from United stand. He had about 10, 15 followers on Twitter. And that is what happens. Of course. Beef Bully, good morning. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing name. Sal, morning, hit the nail on the head. These people are cretins, no names heard. YouTube is a vicious cycle. Absolutely, Beef. And you're absolutely right. And I'm trying to change that narrative. I'm trying to bring in people. I'm trying to give opportunity. I'm trying to do what I do. And I'm trying to change the narrative that has been plaguing our airwaves for the last 15 years, it seems. You know, all this, like the same people, you know, the same people, the same circle, the same ones there, all week in, week out, the same ones at the end of the day. Most of them should be working in Sainsbury's, no offense, but that's what they should be doing. You know what I mean? No offense to people working in Sainsbury's. I worked in Safeway when it existed, guys. Okay, so, but most of them should be doing that now. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And you know what I would say is that, you know, that it's just a cesspit. Whilst these people are still spreading, whilst they're still around, it's going to be a cesspit of negativity, of toxicity, of division. Now, people don't like Mark Goldbridge because Mark Goldbridge is the biggest platform in the hemisphere, right? In regards to Manchester United, the biggest Manchester United independent platform in the world, okay? That's why they don't like him. But at the same time, the reason they have their numbers is because of him, right? I have my numbers because of me. I have my numbers because of me. I have no one else to elevate me. You know what I mean? I'll do it myself. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And this is the difference with it. You know what I mean? I would say. And until those guys have gone, I know they're only there to make a P because they can't do anything else. They're there to make money. I know they're only there to do that. But until these guys are gone, we're going to continue having the same, as you said, a vicious cycle. We're going to continue having the vicious cycle, Beef Bully. Absolutely. Mason Mount is fit. We're just waiting for him to get match fit. Not match fit, but fit in regards to training. He's only had one training session as far as I'm aware. He might be in the squad. He was in the squad last game, wasn't he? So he could play a part against Nottingham Forest. I hope he does. Look, at the end of the day, look, I'm not Mason Mount's biggest fan. I'm not his biggest fan. But what I would say is this, right? We need as many players as we can possibly get at the moment. We've got a number of games coming up that are going to be imperative. We've got Nottingham Forest coming up. Man City coming up, Aston Villa coming up, Lyon coming up as well, Newcastle away coming up. We've got some big games coming up in the next few weeks, and we need as many players as we can possibly get. Obviously, of course, and hopefully those players reach match fitness, of course. This YouTube game is sketchy, absolutely, man. My favorite is Goldfish to Heaviscope, Ransom Bants, Flying Pig, and I've seen this since 2014. At the end of the day, I'm not a big fan of Ransom Bants. I met the guy. He's not a nice person. Absolutely not. But it's everyone to their own. Absolutely. Everyone to their own. But another one who was elevated by Mark Goldbridge, of course. Shah. It's hilarious some people call out the channels that are bigger than their own channel, but when they get asked to have a debate with one of them, they say no. Shah, at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, all that's bigger is longevity. That is all it is. I was in the music industry doing my thing in the music industry and stuff like that. I stopped doing content. At the end of the day, look, you're absolutely right. They wouldn't come on my channel because I'll absolutely school them. They wouldn't. And I know I bring in every single one of them, even in United View. I mean, if you talk about Owen, if you talk about Flex, if you talk about these people, I bring them on the show. I'll show them that my knowledge is, in regards to historically, not just today. You know, I have a greater knowledge about it, but I'm not arrogant with that because I'm actually a Man United fan. I have been a Man United fan my whole life. Some of them have been, as you said, sketchy fans. You know what I mean? Here and there fans, you know. You think Rance is a Man United fan? You think he loves Man United? He doesn't love Man United. You know what I mean? He doesn't. And it's pretty obvious. I know Man United fans when I see them, you know. And to be honest with you, yeah. They won't come on here. Definitely not. Definitely not. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm building my own platform. I'm going to get to the levels. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get to the top, and I'm going to make sure that I get the numbers the same. Absolutely, and we'll go from there. Syed and his pal cosplay each other or role play. Yeah. I mean, a bunch of men in a little room is not my ideal fun, to be honest with you, GK. I don't like having overweight, over cholesterol men in a small room with me, sweating away, talking about football, eating biryani. It's not what I like. You know, I mean, each to their own, of course. At the end of the day, each to their own. But that's just me. You know what I mean? I may be different. Beef on Sal, man, did not know. Are you in the music industry? I like music. I recently wanted to take up DJing. What music? Yeah, I was in a whole number of genres. Beef Bully. If you check out some of my work online, you'll be able to see it. The links are everywhere on my YouTube, on my Twitter pages, and stuff like that. I have millions of views online. I've been responsible for YouTube channels that are up to 2.2 million. You know, so if people want to talk about my YouTube channel, just pipe down. You know what I mean? So basically, what I would say that I've done a lot of things. I've worked with many legends. I don't like to name drop, but you can look into me and stuff like that, and you will see a lot of what I've done online. And 20 years, more than 20 years. Big up, Gladiator. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Wasn't it Jaden Mandela's birthday yesterday, Sal? I don't know what the club was thinking by posting their birthday. Oh my God, blimey. Was that sarcasm? Gladiator King, was that sarcasm? I'm not too sure. Was that sarcasm at the end of the day? Kenny, why do Man United wish Sancho a happy birthday? Because they're silly, mate. They're just, you know what? What it is, Kenny, they need me to run the YouTube channel and the Instagram and the Twitter channels. They need someone like me who can read the room. I can actually read the room. They can't read the room. That's the problem with Man United. People who run their social media accounts. They don't have anyone who can read the room. Oh, yes, I forgot to say happy birthday to beloved Freedom Fire. Happy birthday to Sancho Mandela. Absolutely fantastic for Sancho Mandela. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Sancho Mandela. Freedom fighter, of course. He's fighting for our freedom. Let's not forget that. Sancho is fighting for our freedom. So we have to obviously show him the utmost amount of respect, don't we, at the end of the day? At the end of the day. He mentioned it. Whoa, smash the likes. Big up SLD. Thank you so much. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing. Absolutely. Faz was on at UAV as well. I mean, it's a cesspit, mate. It's a cesspit. You know what I mean? Full of holy dead ball football knowledge. For goodness, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, good luck to them. At the end of the day, good luck to them. At the end of the day, if they want me on the show, you know what? If they think they can better me in a football debate, I'm open. I'm open to it. I want to be proven wrong. I want them. If they can better me in an all-round global football debate, I'm up for it. Let's have a quiz. Let's have something. Let's do something. Let's build up. You know what I mean? Don't look at me and think, oh, you know what? Sal's only got 10,000 followers. Guys, I've been around since June doing live content only. Right? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So it will grow. It will grow. And I will get to those numbers. But by hook or by crook, wait and see. You know what I mean? And, if they want to prove me, a point to me, then they can. You know what I mean? I'm all open. Yes, in Stratford, Courts. I worked in Safeways in Stratford. I was a fishmonger. I was a baker. And I did fried chicken. And I did that. Absolutely. And I've done the hard work graft. I've done all that business. I was in Safeways in Stratford, the big one in Stratford, the Grove. If people know about it, I was there for a couple of years. Yeah, so I know about all that stuff. But some of those people should be there now. That don't exist anymore. But Sainsbury's probably, Tesco or something like that, definitely. But if I wouldn't put him in, I wouldn't put Faz or Saeed in the bakery section because you probably wouldn't have any donuts left. That's the thing. So we probably put them in the salad section. We put them in a salad section so they can just have salad, so at the end of the day. So everyone wins. Everyone wins. You get healthy, you get a job, you stop the toxicity on the YouTube pages. Everyone wins. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Of course. Big up Courts, by the way. Big up, my friend. I see Courts on other channels, though. I see Courts. Courts gets everywhere. The problem with Mount is the longevity of his injurism. Yeah, he will need lots of minutes to get anywhere near what he was. Yeah, exactly. Tybog, you say it there. Really, really true. Mason Mount had a pelvis injury. And with the medication that goes with a pelvis injury, it does have knock-on effects and it can affect other parts of the body, right? This is something that it's not Mason Mount's fault. This is something that Manchester United should have been aware of a long time ago. You know what I mean? They should have been aware of, of his injury. And unfortunately, they didn't do their research. He actually had a medical at Manchester United and passed the medical. When you think about incompetence, right, that is the prime incompetence. prime incompetence, peak incompetence. That is at the end of the day. Unbelievable, Jeff. Kenny, he was fit. He definitely would start for Amram. Yesterday, India versus Bangladesh was a tough cage football match. We could not score. India versus Bangladesh. What's that? Two cage. What's a two-y cage? Tui. Is it that cage? I don't know what it is at the end of the day. Shah, Tybo, agree, but I don't think the guy has played 60 minutes, 90 minutes. No. Of course, I think them saying happy birthday was an engagement farming. Do you think so? Do you think that? Of course, do you think they're fishing for engagement? Because you know what? Mohamed Salah has more followers than Man United on Instagram or Twitter. One of them, he has more followers than Man United. It's interesting that because Man United used to have the biggest and most followed club in the world. It goes to show you that how they have been unfollowed how many times this last few years, especially this last few years. If they are engagement fishing, that shows you where we are as a football club. That shows you where we are. That they need to create controversy, wishing someone who disrespected the club, put the club into disrepute, wrote a tweet on Twitter, left it there for 2 weeks when Man United were in a pivotal period in the season. And we needed him, by the way, to still wish him happy birthday. Madness, isn't it? Definitely something going on there. Definitely. They're just either that or they're just not thinking. It's either that or they're just not thinking. I always suspect that Rance was not a fan. One of my mates told me, I guess he's a Spurs fan. Like he's not a fan of Man United. Bully, absolutely not. No. If he's a Man United fan, Jamie Carragher's a Man United fan. He's as much as a Man United fan as Jamie Carragher, which means he's not a Man United fan. Absolutely not. They support Tottenham. I mean, I know that expression supports Tottenham. He probably supports Arsenal or Tottenham or Liverpool or someone like that. The way he goes on, he sounds like he supports Liverpool or something. Gladiator, somebody claimed that he was trying to for a move to Dortmund. Don't know. Yeah, he said that he wants to be transfer listed and go to Dortmund. I mean, I want to be Brad Pitt, but at the end of the day, you know what? You can't have what you want. He's not in no position to have what he wants. He's in no position to have what he wants at the moment. He cannot pick and choose at the moment. He's gone to Chelsea and he's flopped. He flopped at Man United and he's gone to Chelsea and he flopped. Borussia Dortmund cannot afford the wages of Jadon Sancho. They wouldn't mind Jadon Sancho at their club, but they can't afford the wages. So it's up to Jadon Sancho. If he wants to go to Dortmund so badly, take a major cut in your wages. Or you're just a mercenary at the end of the day, because that is what it comes across, isn't it? Or you're just a mercenary. If you want to go to Dortmund, take a cut. Take a cut. Faz is an attention seeker, even back until he never. I mean, mate. Look, do you know what? He's an ugly dude. That's it. You know what I mean? Now they're doing cooking with Faz, like, you know what I mean? What Goldbridge done years ago. The originality is nowhere to be seen, for goodness sake. I said, Nontano, say, Pios, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Good to see you, my friend. Always, as usual. Where was I? I've lost you. There we go. Jarvis, Sal, I honestly think that if we get back to winning ways, a lot of these toxic creators will start to fade. They will fade off the negativity and will fight tooth and nail to keep things toxic. They were bringing different, like when I was growing up, Jarvis, you know, we only had, around 2005, okay? Before social media came into prominence and stuff like that, we had the forums on manunited.com. We just had forums. So we used to write messages on the forums. And even then, even when we were winning, right? Even when we were winning, there were toxicity. This player shouldn't play. This player is not good enough. This guy is overrated. Compare this guy with that guy. This guy. They always used to find, the toxic ones used to always find a reason to be negative. They always used to find. And they would do the same. They'll do that, or they'll start another thing. They'll start doing something else. You know what I mean? Start another fan channels. You know what I mean? For example, create a beef in regards to other channels and stuff like that. That's what they would do at the end of the day, you know? And it's just a cesspit of negativity and a cycle that needs to be stopped. And I feel that, you know what, it's about time people stop being idiots and stop supporting them. And that's what it is, you know what I mean? Because I won't call anyone who supports the Man United fan to, because, you know what I mean? But I'll be honest, because, you know, they're nothing to do with Man United. They have no heritage in regards to Man United. They don't understand United's heritage. And I'm sorry, I wish I could say otherwise, but it is true at the end of the day. Courts, Rance didn't want debate on KG and responded by sending direct shots. Look, at the end of the day, Courts, right? KG's done things with his life, Courts. KG's been an actor. KG was in Ted Lasso. KG was in he was in that other program on which I saw on TV and stuff like that. KG actually done something with his life. KG is an actual Manchester United fan, right? And I could say to you that KG is a Manchester United fan because of the way he talks, the way he is, you can tell he's passionate about Man United. Rance will sit there, right? Like this. He'll sit there like this, right? Then he'll go, it's a goal, you know. Jeez. They scored. Waste, man. That's what he'll do. That is what Rance would do if Man United score. With me, with KG, with other content creators, jump up and we'll be celebrating on screen. Even though it makes us look stupid, we'll still be celebrating. We're happy. Not him. Not him. Look at his brother, for example, expressions when Tottenham score. Look at the difference. Is that really a Man United? I cannot contain my joy. When Man United score, I cannot contain my joy. I cannot contain my joy. I cannot contain it at the end of the day. It's all about facts, Jay. All about facts for me. I'm just speaking the facts. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, I don't sugarcoat things. I don't do that at the end of the day because I like to just keep it honest, 100. Keep it 100. Tactical Devils, I think we will get back to winning ways. I hope so as well. Our games come thick and fast soon. We need as many players around. Winning breeds winning. Absolutely. Yeah. We need as many players as we can possibly get at the moment. Definitely, my friend. Definitely need as many players as we can possibly get because we got a lot of big games coming up, guys. Massive games. Do you think he is a real fan? He's not, mate. It was 0-0 sale between India and Bangladesh for Asian Cup qualification. Kenny, what I would like, Kenny, right? And I'll say this in support of South Asia, okay? I think the qualification for the World Cup is unfair. There, I said it, right? I think it's unfair. I think the fact that Australia and South Asia have to fight out qualifications with each other when they're different continents, I think that's out of order. I think that's wrong. I think that it should be the Asian subcontinent and Asia in general should be fighting out between each other, and more teams should qualify for the Asian subcontinent. You know what I mean? There's too many Slovenias, Latvias, Ukraines. There's too many of these type of teams in the competition. Do you know what I mean? Too many. They need to open it up, expand it, and make it a real World Cup. Do you know what I mean? That's what I would say in regards to that. Absolutely. We need fluidity, versatility for the fullbacks. Absolutely, where the intelligent or personal awareness, decision making, and know when to invert and good assist providing. Out of this, at least 2 or 3 things needed. Absolutely, GK, spot on, my friend, spot on. I agree. Do you see Mason Mount body getting more broken as he evade? Yeah, it's a bit like, you know what? It's a bit like having a wooden, like a pencil, right? You snap a pencil. If you snap a pencil and then you put it back together and sellotape it, it's never going to be quite the same, isn't it? There's always going to be, you know, it's always going to break again. And this is the thing that we've made so many mistakes over the years in regards to Luke Shaw, in regards to Phil Jones, in regards to now Mason Mount. We've made so many mistakes over the years, you know, and ended up paying these players astronomical wages. Do you know what I mean? And it's I hope, you know, we're going to have to cope with Mason Mount now. He's on contracts, he is, isn't it? And I hope that he can get fit. I rate him when he's fit. I think he's a good player, not a great player. He's not my favorite, but I think he's a good player when he's fit. And I think that he would, you know, he could help us in the upcoming games, of course. Revert 7, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Was Faz the one who went up to Garnacho? Yes, he was, mate. He was the one who disrespected him. Yeah. And regardless what you do, at the end of the day, Garnacho is a young kid, a young player. That's not how you treat young players, to be honest with you, in my opinion. If you want to talk about young players, come on your platform, talk about the players. Don't go up to their face and stuff for 40 minutes before a game and do that. And that's what I would say about that at the end of the day. At the end of the day, he's just an animal, isn't he? He's an ugly animal. That's all he is, mate, to be honest with you. And that's what I would say about that. Good morning, Revert 7, by the way. Good morning to you as well, my friend. Good morning. Number 10, CMF, strikers free. Absolutely, mate. Lots to be prioritized, GK. That is absolutely spot on. We do need there's a lot of work to be done. Absolutely. It was a condescending behavior from him. Absolutely, Kenny. What we have to understand is the biggest question, what happens? Does it help Manchester United? Does it help Manchester United that someone who is overweight, who is, not fit himself, can't play football himself, just like Garnacho said, why don't you play then? To be talking to Garnacho about you should hold up the ball and do this and do that. At the end of the day, who are you to be saying this? These players have been playing football from the Argentina to Spain to Manchester United. He's been playing football for massive clubs. I think he knows. At the end of the day. And I think he has a manager who can tell him what to do, to be honest. A manager who is qualified to tell him what to do. Big up Revert 7, big up everyone, big up Shalom, big up my friends, of course. Yeah, Kenny, I saw that all over Twitter. Madness, isn't it? But you know what? Roy Keane shut him up, didn't he? You know what I mean? He called him a waste man, basically, didn't he? Jay. Alex Buena needs to be considered. He's already been watched by our scouts, but I'd like to see us make a move for him. Yeah. Before top class snap him up, and I think we will miss out on a player like it. This is the problem, Jay. This is the problem, isn't it? We're very slow. You snooze, you lose. Look at Quenda. You snooze, you lose. You lose out on players. You know what I mean? Like even Jonathan David, right? And he's not everyone's cup of tea, Jonathan David. I know, but at least you know what? Jonathan Davis is a free transfer. If we stand still and don't do anything, he's going to go and leave and go to someone else. For example, Frimpong. We were talking a lot about Frimpong this last week, right? If we stand still, he's going to go to Liverpool. Liverpool are losing. Trent Alexander-Arnold is signing for Real Madrid, isn't he? So if they lose Trent Alexander-Arnold, they are going to lose Trent. They're going to go after Frimpong, and this is why we have to act quick. You snooze, you lose at the end of the day. Misery loves company as well. That's true. That's true. Criticism is fair, but some just go well over the top. Criticism isn't constructive. Criticism is subjective. Criticism is constructive. But the biggest problem in Manchester United was not Garnacho. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't go up to a young player's face. I would much rather go up to Bruno. I'd much rather go up to Maguire. I'd much rather go up to Luke Shaw than I'll go up to Ahmad or Garnacho or Mainu. I wouldn't go after those players because I know they're still developing. They're still developing as players. They still need to be nurtured. They still need to grow. You know, you're talking about at the time he was 18, 19 years old. You know what I mean? You've got to be fair as well in your criticism. And it needs to be constructive. Flex is a commercial guy, JK. He's a commercial guy. He's just a commercial man. That's it. Commercial hoe. What should I say? Expressions is a goated channel. Yeah. Expressions is a good. At least he's real. You know what I mean? At least he's real, and he's a real Tottenham supporter. And who would pretend to be a Tottenham supporter at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean? I think that there should be a Europa League style World Cup tournament. Good point. Yeah. There needs to be more. There needs to be more of a chance for other teams to make it into the World Cup. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So congrats for the Generator Award, but work for TalkSport. Exactly. Thank you so much, Shah. It's a conflict of interest. Flex works for TalkSport. TalkSport give out awards. TalkSport owned company gives out award. That's a conflict of interest, right? You know what I mean? There you go. Good morning, Toxie. What's going on? Good morning, partner. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Can't believe we have to wait till next Tuesday. It's mad, isn't it? Revert 7. I mean, it seems like forever, doesn't it? Kim reacting to Rise, it makes me laugh. You know, at least he's got talent, Kenny. He's got talent. We all know who took the talent in the family, don't we? The good genes. I thought Rance is a Spurs fan. He is a Spurs fan. He is probably a Spurs fan or a Liverpool fan. One of those names, but definitely not Man United. Definitely not, guys. Absolutely not. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Absolute legends. It's been a crazy show, but you know what? This is what we do on this show. You can ask me anything. This is what the show is all about. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. And what I would say is that, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video if you could possibly do that for me. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Have a great day, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. And keep your notifications on so when I go live, you'll know firsthand. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Take it easy. See you soon, guys. Peace.